Well, look who it is. Just the kind of person I was looking for. It is 7:30 p.m. CST on February the 20th. Thank you, My Guy Likes, for the follow. That's a fantastic way to start off the stream. Get to hear a little notification, get to have a little bit of a nice sound going into it. And this is Cast Talks. Good evening to you, Playful. Glad you could make it. Here at Cast Talks, we're all about background noise, ambience, companionship, and maybe even helping you get to sleep. So, hey there, Jenny. It's good to have you here, Ella. It really is. What you can do is you can bundle on up, lay on back, get something nice to drink, and take it easy, just for a little while, with me and chat. And when you have a little nice time here with us for a couple of hours, hopefully by the end you'll feel a little bit better about your week, and maybe the next week as well. As always, I am your humble host, Cassius, but you can call me Cass. In fact, I'd prefer it. Today we're doing some good news and cat videos. Well, not just cats, but mostly cats, as usual. I'm glad you guys are here to join me. So everybody wrap up, get comfy, get ready to take it easy for just a little bit. Here at Cast Talks, we like to do a nice little bit of Sue. I am so glad you could make it, Sue. I'm so glad to see you in chat. I hope Delonda and Kitschy are both doing very well. And you might not you might not be expecting this, but I'm gonna come on back tomorrow and be ready by Monday. Which, it's gonna be a good one on Monday. Well, thank you, my guy. I do my very best to have a soothing attitude. I'm glad you're enjoying it. But today, not today specifically, mind you, but the 22nd, in 2 days, is my 26th birthday. And I never knew if I was going to make it to 26. But I was thinking with the mind of a 18-year-old, of course. Thank you, Jenny, for saying that. That's amazing to hear. Thank you, Playful. I appreciate it. 26 is a pretty big year. I'm moving into the latter half of my 20s, and I feel pretty good about it. I think there was always a bit of fear that I felt moving into it at first, but as I've thought about it and as I've mellowed and chilled throughout the year, I've become pretty okay with it. In fact, you might even say that I'm looking forward to it. Some news about me this week. Best wishes for my 26th. Thank you so much, Likes. You really are my guy. Better look forward to it. You can't go back. It's true, Ella. It's very true. Today and yesterday, I went on a 6.5 kilometer walk. Smiles. Yes, happy pre-birthday. The pre-birthday wishes are really warming my heart. I'm very grateful for them. I have burned 2,000 calories in the past 2 days, and my diet's doing quite well also. So I'm feeling pretty good about things. I'm gonna lose my belly fat no matter what. Thank you for the positivity there, Sue. I'm gonna get rid of it. I've decided. And then by October, I can dress up all anime and go into Halloween with my awesome clothes that I'm going to be able to get. But for now, we're going to focus on the here and the present. So, we are starting with some good news. So for our first good news, we have two choices. Here's our first choice. The ever-growing pile of electric waste is now on the decline, study finds. Or, this is the surprising outcome when a California city gave struggling folks free money for a year. Vote 1 or 2 to see which one you'd like to hear first. And I'll reread them for you if you'd like me to. My favorite anime, let's see. It's a tough choice. 2. Okay, Jenny wants to see the second one. I love 2. Okay, 2 votes for 2. I love really meandering, really niche, really cute anime that's about just 2 clumsy, amazing. Voting for the first story or the second. You want me to reread them for you, Danny? Oh, sorry, Ella. Did you hear them? Let me get back to you on that, Lux. It's been a little while since I've thought about it. Here, I'll reread them to you. We're going to do the second one, it seems like. We're doing the ever-growing pile of electronic waste is now on the decline, study finds. Or, this is the surprising outcome when a California city gave struggling folks free money for a year. So that's 1 or 2 that you'd like to hear. 2. Okay, 2 wins. That's 3 votes. That's all we need. But I will get back to you on that, okay, Lex? Make sure you tune in, maybe next week when I have some time to think about it. Because there's a lot to choose from. I did just see Paprika, though, on Thursday. I was watching it with Rory Valentine and some of her friends. Some of her other viewers, excuse me. And it was very good, very cerebral, and the animation was fantastic. I can't stress that part enough. Though the story, I didn't quite understand the ending very well. But it was very good. It's very good. Very funny, too. Very visually funny. This is by Andy Corbley from March the 15th of this year. In an encouraging flip of the narrative, an experiment demonstrated that basic income recipients in a California city displayed intelligence and ambition, not lethargy. A randomized controlled trial in the city of Stockton is being viewed by sociologists as a good jumping-off point for future and further research into the effects of no-strings-attached cash payments to alleviate the difficulties of living with a lower income. The project was called SEED, Stockton Economic Empowerment Demonstration, and it took place from February 2018 to February 2020. Distributing $500 every month for 2 years to 125 people living around or below the city's median household income resulted in the participants' acquisition of full-time jobs climbing up to 200% above a control group of participants who did not receive income. The jump was still less than what is seen on traditional unemployment benefits, though those receiving the $500 were not necessarily unemployed. The vast majority of the spending was on things one might imagine it would go towards, such as food, utilities, rent, auto maintenance, and so on. Another significant finding was that it allowed participants a little more time in the day to enjoy life, spend time with their families, or study to potentially improve their skill sets. The $500 spilled into their extended networks in materials and immaterial ways that alleviated financial strain across fragile networks and generated more time for relationships, the authors wrote. One man had spent an entire year being eligible to receive a real estate license, but he never actually had time to begin the process. The $500 allowed him to take time off work to get his certificate and switch careers, resulting in a 360-degree turnaround in his fortunes. Lastly, despite the fact that every participant spent 100% of their monthly $500, 25% of the participants, by trial's end, had managed to cover the $400 cost of an unexpected expense, suggesting that rather than going on spending sprees or committing the money immediately to rent, at least some were able to extend the life of the $500 and other sources of income much further, perhaps by saving more than normal. The most fundamentally important aspect of financial strength and growth. It's an encouraging sign that a randomized placebo-controlled trial was able to find so many benefits. A basic income may be more flexible and effective of an alternative than other existing welfare programs that limit the scope of the handout to particular requirements and circumstances, because it allows the individual to maintain their own agency and manage their own affairs, and who, as the economists of centuries past recognize, are the only ones who can do so. Hurry back, Ella. I find that to be a very enriching story. The idea of a basic national income is not a unheard of thing. However, nice they felt the handout view was wrong, and love that extra money gave time to enjoy their life. It's very true. Most of the time, people find that they just don't have enough money to stop working and to stop being active 24/7. So you get these moments where you would like to settle down and do something of particular hobby or interest or relaxation, but you just don't have time. You have to go to your second job, or worse yet, your third job. And so this stress builds and builds and builds, and it seems like there's nothing you can do about it but to spend the money you already have on recreation for that small amount of time that you get every week. But with this, you could easily quit one of those jobs, and you might even have a few hours, maybe every other day, as opposed to maybe 2 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday. Maybe not even that in some cases. But what it proves is that for the most part, people have the ability to receive this extra, just small pendant, just this small little thing, and they can be wise and smart and careful in their spending. Because when you don't have a lot to spend, every little bit that you get can feel like a blessing, almost holy and sacred. And you wouldn't spend something like that on just new clothes, or just recreation, or just material possessions. Things like that can go to, as it said, furthering yourself. It can go to starting a new business, or even just advancing the economy. There's so much wonderful things that can happen if people just have the chance to do it. But that is slightly too political for this show, so we will move on. Now, we are moving on to my personal favorite segment. Animal videos. Our first video is Maine Coon. Kitten thinks husky dog is her brother. I would love to see a cat and a dog hanging out together like this. It is my dream to one day have an animal companion, or two, in this case, that are capable of being not only friendly with each other, but are capable of creating a ecosystem of love and of support between each other. Because it is still so rare to see animals living in this kind of harmony, especially so it's true, Jenny. They are very precious. These so polar opposite creatures that cats and dogs can be. I know, playful. It's precious. It's really great. I hope that Ella comes back sooner. She's gonna miss the animal videos. What are some of your favorite cats, if you had to pick some? Or your favorite animals in general? I've heard of dogs raising kittens. It's very true. Some animals, especially when certain animals, or vice versa, are just giving birth, they can become attached to animals that are just around them. And this happens with lions and gazelles. Coon tail cats, extra fluffy. I do love the fluffy cats. They make so much of a mess with their hair going everywhere, but they're lovely. Aw. Climbing all over the husky. Malamutes, hands down. Malamutes are lovely as well, though I love the ones, what am I thinking of? The dogs that have that lovely, luxurious hair and longer faces than most dogs, and they have the white spot usually below their neck. Very puffy, very long hair. What am I thinking of? I'll figure it out later. Butt on face. I was more meaning cats not having their mama. The dog takes over. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Be wary of your language, Zoo. Cat butt on face. It's not the worst butt that could be on your face. You could have much worse butts. You could have much worse butts on your face. Look at all these animals just hanging out together. I know, very fluffy. It is a genuinely beautiful thing to see animals coexisting like this. In fact, I feel so strongly about it that if I had the chance to, I would definitely try to raise my own. I would try to raise my own animals and raise them as close together as I can, because I think that animals are, they're so worthy. They're so worthy of being together and being happy and being in the same the same world together with other animals. They deserve it. They really do. Oh, look at those eyes. Dogs can have some really pretty eyes. Just laying down with the huskies, you know, no big deal. Just laying on down. We find that often animal videos and good news are essential to having a positive streak throughout your days and week. And luckily, if you'd like to view more content like this, we've got over 50 videos. Did you hear that? 50 videos that are just like this one. If not better. Who knows? This one's not finished yet, but it could get better. And it could easily be found other great content on my channel. I'll link it in chat. Just in case you're interested. Go ahead and take a look if you'd like to. Let's see, what's our next one? Socializing a spicy feral kitten, super sweet golden retriever, and ginger kitten will melt. Oh, he looks so happy. He looks so happy. Oh, there is nothing better than a happy dog. You know what I mean? With a big old smile on their face. There's nothing much better than that. I know. It is the avatar, the paragon of cuteness. They look like they were made for each other. This has been a good week, though. It really has. And you guys can bet your bottom dollar, whenever I get animals, you're going to be seeing a lot of clips, a lot of images, a lot of stuff coming from me, showing them off. That is going to be my top priority if I ever get a big old fluffy set of cuties like this who love each other. I'm going to be doing all sorts of animal shenanigans with them. Heck yeah. Just like you said, Playful. Heck yeah. It's going to be all over the place. And you guys are getting the prime real estate. You're getting the ground floor. The bedrock. You're going to see it all. Well, I hope that Ella gets to see some of this action before we go back to our good news. But I hope you folks are enjoying your time here so far. I hope you're having a nice little relaxing time here at Cast Talks. Because this is what we do every Saturday at 7:30 CST. 7:30 p.m. We have a good little time and just let the week, all those stressful things we've been dealing with, let them go for a little while. Just take it nice and slow. It doesn't get much slower than cat videos. The kitten licking the dog was adorable. Them in this pose right here where they're sleeping right next to each other. Oh my gosh, it just gets even cuter. It is astounding. Absolutely astounding. Share the cuteness. That is about as good as it gets. We've only got 2 more videos. Golden Retriever and Rescue Cat love each other to bits. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're both wet together. Oh my gosh. Smiling in their sleep. Oh, look how squished his face is. Aw. Just a big old cat butt right next to a sleeping dog. Oh my gosh. Some of these shots are incredible. Some of them are just incredible. Just too much to even commentate on. But I'm trying. Believe me, I'm trying. Such a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the lion outfits. The lion. Oh my gosh. They both look so miserable in those outfits. Hey, you know, I'm doing what I can, certainly. This is certainly one of my favorite parts of Cast Talks, though I do enjoy chatting with you folks as well. So certainly, two peas in my pod that I'm really proud of and happy for. The internet was made for cat videos, after all. Oh, hurry back, Jenny. And one more, and this one is going to be our final for the day. This is a video of some ducklings trying to get out of this pool, though they're having some troubles. And they're going after their mom, because they think that she knows best, but she's not sure how to get them out of there. Well, alright. We're moving on into our second half, or our second quarter of Cast Talks. Now, all these little ducklings are trying to find a way to get out, and they've got to get out of here somehow. So this duck is gonna try to lead her babies to safety. There's a lot of videos about ducks traveling and venturing through areas where normally you wouldn't see them. Last week we had a schoolyard that they came in from and started just bounding around in a high school as if they belonged there. No idea why they thought they did, but I suppose they do, as long as they're peaceful and not bothering anybody. I've found very much, though, that I have an affinity for animals that are very gentle and very calm, and especially if they've been well trained. However, when I'm walking around my neighborhood, I find that dogs, they bark at me quite a bit. They must know that I've got a lot of special energy, and they just don't like it. You know, they just don't like it, for whatever reason. But I have to assume that they can sense how unnatural and beyond natural my presence can be, and they certainly can be scared by it, or annoyed or frustrated. I accept that, though. Not every animal will like me, but most cats find me very very pleasant to be around. And tiny dogs, too, seem to like me. No, not all of them. Oh, we gotta get those ducks out of there. Gotta sweep up the ducks. Make sure they get back onto land. They're just having such a hard time getting out of there, aren't they? Oh, they're escaping. Oh, I bet they're glad to be out of that. They really should have a duck escape, shouldn't they? I'm always a fan of the pools with the little... Oh, look at them walking out of there. I like the pools that have the little staircases. Some pools even have ramp access now, which I'm a fan of as well because the shallows, if you want to wheel a wheelchair around in the shallows, I'm fine with that. That sounds like a great idea because people who are handy capable and handy accessible, they deserve to be able to enjoy pools just like everybody else. Especially heated pools. Though these ducks seem to be going right back in the pool as soon as they get pulled out. Well, I hope that you enjoy your afar listening. Oh, okay. Lux Guy, if you're still in chat, I have thought of my favorite anime. Let me know if you're still here and I'll tell it to you, okay? Welcome back, Jenny. Hey, ducks are fantastic. Look, he's made a staircase for them. It's a duck case. Letting the ducks escape and go with their mama. Get out of there, ducks. Get out of there. You can do it. You just gotta climb. Climb to freedom. Come on. Just climb. You can do it. Maybe he's gotta help this one out because it may not know how to get out. Gotta get in there and give it some encouragement. Oh, wait. Is he gonna figure it out? There he goes. There he goes. Come on. Don't give up, little guy. He's so close. Shock Duck Redemption. Shock Duck Redemption. Oh my gosh. That's actually very appropriate. But yeah. Shock Duck. I hope he gets to get back to his parents really easily. Oh, there they go. There they go. They made it. They all made it. What a beautiful sight. All those ducks reunited. Like I said, Lux, my guy Lux, if you're still in chat, I have that answer for you. Oh, I don't think he is. Oh, well, too bad. That was a little distressing. I'm glad they all made it out. Me too, Jenny. I figured they would, though. I figured they would. With the help of a kind and wise human, they had a very good chance of making it out just fine. They just had to understand what was going on a little bit better, which can be really hard for animals because oftentimes they're a bit confused by the modern marvels around them. But it all ended very well. But as we're going into our second quarter, second quarter, there we go. I'd like you guys to all be, just be mindful of a few things. To begin with, be mindful of how powerful you are, right? Because you're all very, very powerful people. You might not believe it. You might think, Cass, I don't feel very powerful, or Cass, I'm feeling a little bit weak. But believe it or not, inside of each of us is a wellspring, a font of potential, of strength. Even when you're feeling annoyed or depressed, melancholic, hopeless, any of those things, it is within us, all of us, to recover, to heal, and to find ourselves in a better place tomorrow. And I can tell you this because we all have weak points in our life, it's true. It's how we deal with them, how we recover and recuperate and move on from those points that we look at ourselves and we see what can be improved and what can be moved forward. And through that crucible of life, we can come out the other side being stronger than ever. Though I will admit there are times I definitely think it would be better for people not to have to go through that. So hopefully you can be challenged suitably and not in too much of an extreme. That's my hope, at least. And if you have made it here to our chat, if you've made it all this way through your entire life so far, and you're enjoying Cass Talks number 22, hanging out here with me on the birthday stream, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you here, Playful. As I've said before, you are a great addition to our stream. You too, Sue. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I recently started a new treatment for what I actually face with on a daily basis, which is lateral and medial epicondylitis. It's a bit tragic, unfortunately, but I was so interested in playing video games and typing on the computer that I actually overexerted myself for about 10 years worth of typing and carelessness, and it caught up with me. And it caught up with me so hard that I ended up going to the hospital for it. Fortunately, I have started to recover in a big way, thanks to this new treatment. Who would have thought it was something so cheap as well? Almost makes me frustrated to think about how quickly the changes happened after something so minuscule, so seemingly inconsequential. I never could have guessed it could happen, but strange things happen every day. Every single day, strange things happen. Oh, thank you so much, Sue, for your lovely emote. But what I have to do, on the right track, I really feel like I am now. And I never could have guessed it was because of something so simple, but it really is. gosh, I'm yawning over here. I'm always glad to see you do that emote. I really am. Cast Talks made you tired. You love that. It's true. I do get really relaxed and really tired in Cast Talks, I've found. But you know, it is because I get so relaxed from hearing my own voice. It's because I, unlike a lot of people, hear the same voice in my head that I do when I speak. So I find that when I'm speaking, I'm not hearing someone else's voice and feeling like I don't like it. I'm hearing my voice. And I very genuinely and very deeply understand that it is my voice, and it feels very, very precious and wholesome to me. It's the kind of thing that makes you really understand, like, where you are and who you are. And I feel like my voice is one of the most powerful things I possess. My voice definitely calms people, and you like that. I'm really glad to hear that. I do what I can, and one of my dreams is to make the world a better place by helping people sleep better and relax more and take it easier. And if I can achieve that, if I can make the world a better place just by speaking, by doing what I do best, well, that's not such a bad thing, is it? And pretty soon we'll be at episode 25. Before we know it, we'll be back in October 2021. And we'll be hitting our first year anniversary. And we'll see. Calms you some nights. Playful. That makes me very happy to hear. I hope that you continue to enjoy it, because Saturdays are a sanctuary from the madness of life. The weekend, the strength of those moments of being at one with your true self, away from the humdrum nature of life, being there on a Saturday night. Anything could happen. You know, anything could happen. Because the strength of a Saturday, it's a freedom. A freedom. And that freedom pulls and pushes and stretches what you think can happen, what you believe is possible. And some of my favorite moments are on a Saturday night. But you know, there's just something special about Saturdays. And I almost forgot to mention, but this week's tea is mango ginger from Yogi. That is a spicy ginger tea. I'm not sure that I like it, but I will finish it. I hope all of you folks out there listening have some teas of your own. That's something I forgot to mention. I'm going to add that to my opening conversation. I did not add any honey this time, but I've already had enough honey today. Tea of the week. Lovely. Yeah, after my long walk, which I was walking out there in my town for about an hour and 40 minutes, and when I got back, I had some plain Greek yogurt with some honey in it. Lavender. I haven't had lavender tea before, but I'm sure it smells and tastes rather good. I had some ramen as well, so I'm actually doing rather well on my calories. I've had some. Find it. I will do my best to find it, I promise you. I'm doing rather well as far as my exercise and diet and calories are going. I think one thing that helped me out significantly was trying not to get up in the middle of the night to eat something, but because of the medications I take, it is very difficult not to. They give you impulses and they make you gain weight. So you have this incredible urge to get up sometimes in the middle of the night and get some food, which I was getting, but I've placed some almonds and water next to my bed. So whenever I feel that urge, I get up, I shove some almonds in my face, and I drink as much water as I can, and then I go back to bed. And that's a good way to do it. That's a good way to take it slow and to not push yourself to find other things to eat when you're not ready. I hope that advice helps somebody out because it surely has helped me out quite a bit. But now we're moving on to our next news story. So, here are our next two stories. Story number 1. World's first 3D printed school poised to be built in Madagascar for half the price of traditional. Or 2. Nothing restores a river or local economy like removing a dam. Go ahead and make your choices. This is a hard one for me to decide on, personally. And if you want me to, I can read them for you again. And I'll just pick my favorite if you decide not to say anything about it, which is fine too. Reread. World's first 3D printed school poised to be built in Madagascar for half the price of traditional. Or nothing restores a river or local economy like removing a dam. 1 or 2. Two. Okay, 1 for 2. Okay, that's 2 for 2. I'm gonna wait for one more vote, or I'll do my own vote here in a couple of seconds. Dams cause pressure and they cause earthquakes. I didn't know that, but I believe it. I've heard dams are not that great for the environment because of the whole salmon spawning in a lot of places. But dams are really useful, so it's kind of hard to be like, well, just stop all dams, take them all out. A lot of dams are really useful to us. Step on a waterbed, watch. I see what you mean. I mean, dams are very powerful, very helpful things, but some of them are not helpful anymore, and we can live without them. So I do think that a lot of them, small ones are okay. Yeah, I agree. Small ones are okay. Beavers make dams, and beavers are fantastic. Very cuddly, very friendly. Beavers don't harm anybody. They just wander around and they get their fish and they get their mussels, and they chew their wood. They play with the rivers. It's true. They're very playful creatures. They're very smart too, to be able to construct their houses like that. Very smart. Turning them and bending the river. And, they have found out a quintessential facet of nature and control. Is if you can control the river, you can control the food, the predators, and even the weather sometimes. But they're always damming. They're always damming all the time. Beavers do not attack humans, it's true. Alright, unless they feel they have to. There's only a few animals that actually hunt for sport, but I won't speak about that. We're going to go on to Nothing Restores a River or Local Economy Like Removing a Dam. That's by Andy Courtley from the 19th of March. That's just yesterday. Across the United States, 69 river dams were removed from American rivers in 2020, opening up 624 miles of waterways to flow freely. The work was undertaken with the guidance of American Rivers, a national nonprofit that works to restore rivers to their natural state. More than 90,000 dams block rivers across the U.S., but while many might not think of this as a problem, the relentless damming of American rivers over the decades has created significant detriments to the environment. Along with disrupting riverine ecosystems, inland marshes, and wetlands, which are important ecosystems for birds. Dam rivers can also dry up downstream from where dams are built. Protecting their young or mistreated, I agree, that's a significant factor as well. Damming has been happening for centuries in the U.S., as GNN reported last year, piling up legacy sediment and choking rivers. But even more modern dams can be a major hazard to rivers and the habitats they fragment while soaking up infrastructure tax dollars. In 2020, dams were removed in South Carolina, Indiana, Washington, Montana, New Hampshire, and 18 other states, helping connect populations of salmon species like Chinook, coho, and pink, as well as steelhead, cutthroat, and bull trout. Bartman's bass, greater red horse, long-nosed dace, and northern brook lamprey. Oh, lamprey are crazy. The latter three of which are threatened or endangered in the U.S. The removal of one dam a mile upstream from its confluence with the St. Joseph River, the Elkhart River Dam, has helped reopen a key migration route for more than 50 fish and other species moving out of the St. Joseph. Large contributions to the 2020 dam removal project were made by Indian nations such as the Nooksack and the Lubi. We're salmon people, so the salmon is very sacred and very important to the tribe, said Merle Jefferson, director of the Lubi Nation's Natural Resource Department, in a video. Thanks. Blessed little hearts. Yeah, I know. The blessed heart of the salmon. Removing that dam not only gave the salmon back to a 16-mile stretch of culturally sacred salmon habitat collapsed after a dam was built, diverting the Middle Fork Nooksack River near Billingham, Washington. Removing that dam not only gave the salmon back their habitat, but the Lumi back their culture. The Tulalip tribes is another group that recovered their ancestral salmon habitat, this time along the Pilchuck River in Washington state, where two separate dams were completely removed. In most cases, dams were built long ago to fortify industry or to supply fresh water and irrigation. As technology and population densities have changed over the decades, a surprising amount of dams are powering or assisting nothing, and instead act as irrelevant tax leeches. Wow, I didn't know that. Reopening rivers, as American Rivers has shown, also brings back some economic opportunity to communities by increasing recreational fishing and boating, as well as replenishing local fish stocks that can be sold. Sings to the stars and burns some sage and show of happiness and warmth to my heart. You always say the best stuff, Sue. Thank you so much for that. We're moving into our halfway point. So, to all of you here with me now, at this point in the stream, we take some time to stand up to stretch, to hydrate, to go to the bathroom, and to take it easy for a few moments away from your computer. I hope you'll join me in spending 5 minutes of your time away from your desktop, away from your laptop, or away from your streaming device. Here, go to the potty, get some water, and stretch those legs. Be back in 5 minutes. Glad I could do it for you, Jenny. Hope to see you again soon. I hope that you folks had a lovely little vacation from your relaxation. But we're back on, getting ready to go into some more animal videos. Thank you very much, Playful, and welcome back to you too. Welcome back and backsies. Two great things coming together to hang out. Here's another good one. Aw, kittens are so precious. Retrievers are very cute as well, though for different reasons. I've always found that typically animals who play together and who eat together and who go on walks together end up becoming very, very good friends. But every now and again, you get animal soulmates, which I don't exactly know how it happens, but bonding between animals is oftentimes much deeper than with humans. Because animals are both so loyal and so vulnerable and carefree with each other. They can get closer than most of us ever can. I find that to be so beautiful that it's hard to not just love it when you see it. Let's go another one. I love these cat on top of dog images. It's one of my favorites. Sleeping animals is a wonderful, bountiful sight. Oftentimes you find a sleeping animal is so open and so ready and so available, and they're just ready to take in the world. Ready to take in the world. I can't help but love that. It's certainly a lovely thing. I like the idea of the cat covering up the dog's eyes. Aw. Some of these images are too precious for words. Just a bunch of cuties hanging out together. That's what you love to see. One more, I think, is what we'll do. Oh, all these huskies. That's a very pregnant cat. Oh. I think that cat moms are so gentle with their children. It is amazing to me how gentle they can be. Even alligators can be incredibly gentle with their children. It's amazing to me. Aw. Gosh, I love these animal videos. They always make my week. This husky is just poking around at this new kitten. He's like, he's trying to figure out what it's all about. He might never have seen a kitten before. Getting a sniff and a boop with its snoot. Not quite certain of what's going on yet. Just these three dogs very patiently watching the kitten on this little pillow. But this kitten is not sure what's going on. It is too young to understand what a dog is. It can barely even open its own eyes. Oh. The cat is kneading that dog's back and butt. That's it for our animal videos for today. Animals can be so helpful. It's true, they are precious, aren't they? The dog didn't even flinch, it's true. He was so used to it, he didn't even mind. Didn't mind at all. On a night like this, a beautiful, gorgeous March 20th night, let's look ahead just a little bit. Look ahead to what awaits us in the future. What awaits us is guests. In the future, I would love to have guests on the stream. people with a similar sort of demeanor as me who I can learn more about and who I can speak with and get an internet acquaintance with. People that are more than happy to spend some time here with the rest of us. And people that genuinely have a story that they want to share. That's what I'm interested in. I want that. I want the heart of these stories. I want the heart of the people. I want all that golden-hearted, warm, wholesome energy to be on display here. That's what really matters to me. And every time that I can have one of those things happen, every time that I can be here and I can venerate all of you and myself, I can deepen the well of wholesomeness, of encouragement, and of strength. I feel like that is such a worthy endeavor, such a strong thing, such a proud and grateful and gracious and graceful thing. And I can't wait to do more. I can't wait to see the heights that we'll get to and the crazy, ridiculous, strong places we'll go. And we'll get there together as a team of people setting out to make the world a better place. We'll get there. And I look forward to it. I really do. Every time that I think about it, it makes me excited and stronger and more confident, and I feel like I'm more capable of tackling these issues in this life of mine more seriously. And this is my destiny, if such a thing exists. This is my dream, is to cultivate this fantastic ember until it is a roaring bonfire that everybody can bask in the warmth of. That is what I want. That is what I will do with my life. And knowing my place, knowing where I belong, knowing the kind of things that I can do, the kind of powers I can make, and the kind of controls and vibes and feelings that I can give out. That's my bread and butter. It's my jam. It's my bag. It's all I've ever wanted. And to do so much of that, to create such a powerful thing, such a strong, resilient, robust thing. That's what a life is worth being spent on. But that's just what I think. I hope that by doing this, somebody else can discover what their life's work would be, or what they would love to do. That is something that I would love to understand more. It's like, how far can we go if we just keep going, keep pushing, keep trying? Because we get a little better every time, you know? Every time we get a little stronger. And I am brimming anticipation. I can't wait to see where it goes next. But on this lovely Saturday evening, all of you folks out there listening to this in the future, which I anticipate as well will be substantial as time moves forward, think about something for me. Think about a time in your life where you were very present, where you were very real and very in the moment, where you felt like you had your hands on reality. You were very there, very aware, very real, very living. And think about how just being here, right? Just recognizing your own strength, recognizing your own superiority over your past self. Recognize how many more moments in your life you'll get to have of that presence, of that presentness, that gift to yourself. And think about how real you could feel, how full and satisfied you could feel in existing in your true self that you were meant to be, that you always have been. Just resting in that true self for time immemorial. That's what awaits all of us. It awaits us either in this life or the next, though I hope it awaits us in both, in my case. But generally, I'm quite hopeful. And it's amazing how much a person can change in 5 years. It's really amazing. I love to see it. I really do. You know, one of my favorite things is to, well, talk, but also to listen and to have a back and forth. And I hope if I ever have a companion or a partner that she, or maybe even he, would be more than happy to come on to Cast Talks with me and present herself or themselves as a person of great intelligence and brilliance and kindness, and be welcomed, be accepted, and be given all of the warm amenities that is deserved of somebody who is clearly worthy of being here, if I'm with them, that is. Somebody who I can show off and I can celebrate with this wonderful time that I can have with them, involving all the other people that are here with us. That is something I look forward to. And if you've ever been standing outside on a hot summer day where you just desperately need something to cool off, you know, you're slogging around, you're working hard, you're going boot after boot after boot, but then just as you need it, just as you're at your most desperate, you hear the brushing of the grass, the rustling of branches and trees, and you see the plains before you whip until finally that summer breeze, it just finds itself all across you, drying, cooling, and refreshing you in every way possible. And it's just what you need. It's absolutely just what you need. That is what I feel coming on the horizon. And I look forward to it. I really do. I feel it coming. And I hope that all of you will join me in having moments that are just like that. You know, I do love the vibe and energy of these nights, these Saturdays. I often think that I don't know what I would do with my Saturdays if I wasn't here, and I feel like after doing this for so long now, almost 6 months at this point, I really don't know what I'd be doing without it. Really, I don't. I have been through heartbreak and through depression, through melancholy, through fears and worries and pains and all manner of horrific ordeals. And when I come here on Saturdays, when I'm here with you folks, when I'm just taking this time with you, time kind of just stops. It freezes. And little moments, they just stretch out. They stretch out from here to as far as you can make them. As far as you'll let them. This is such a happy place for me. I'm so glad to hear that, Playful. I hope that I can inspire that feeling, that very same feeling, in as many people on this world as I possibly can. I hope that I can make the world have hope for a brighter tomorrow, the same hope that I feel. That's what I want. That's what I wished for. It's my dream. And you know, I'm willing to work for it. For the first time in I don't know how long, I'm willing to work for it. It feels good to say that. Time goes by too fast during cast talks, though. It does go by fast. It really does. Hey, 2 hours can seem like a few minutes if you've got the right company. It definitely does. So glad I'm part of it. I'm glad you aren't too, Playful. I'm glad you aren't too. One day, I'd like very much to do this sort of thing. I don't know how far it would take for me to get like this level of a sway or whatever you want to call it. But I'd like to do this sort of thing for charity. I'd love to help the world become a better place and raise funds and capital for, though it seems to have sped up my laundry folding. That's probably a good thing, though. I agree. It is good to feel like time is barely passing at all. Means you're enjoying yourself. I would love to do charity, though, for people with like disabilities, for people with Alzheimer's, for people with cancer, people with depression, raise awareness for mental health, raise awareness for bipolar and OCD. Those are huge things for me. I want that. I really want to do that. And if I have my way at all, that's going to happen. You guys can bet your bottom dollar on it. We are going to do stuff like that. as often as we can in the future. Because, like, that is crucial. Hey, I'd hope so, but even if you don't, I'm still glad to do it. I'm really glad to give that away, to relieve that burden that someone else might be having. That's my thing. It's my bag. It's what I do. We are going into the final quarter of our cast talks for today, the birthday stream for the birthday boy. And we'll be going into our last two good newses for this week. So, I hope you folks are ready to join me in this last little bit here. Here are the last two stories for today. Give me a 1 for this one, and a 2 for the next one. Number 1, cannabis compound inhibits COVID-19 replication in human lung cells, study says. Number 2, medals found in dumpster reveal her dad was a World War II hero, but never told anyone. 1, okay. 3? There's not a 3, but I think he meant 2. Both. 3, both. We can do both. I'm wondering which one you want to watch first, though. Sure, we'll do both. We'll do the first one first. 2? You want to watch 2 first? Okay, we can do that. Hey, I just want to know what the people want, and if you want number 2 first, we can do that. You can find, and here it is, medals found in dumpster reveal her dad was a World War II hero, but never told anyone, by Judy Cole, March 16th of this year, excuse me. You can find the most amazing things, from valuable artifacts to kitschy treasures, when you're dumpster diving. But sometimes trash trawling yields an heirloom that's truly priceless, like the personal history of a hero. U.S. Navy veteran Donald Helfer flew in 28 missions over enemy territory during World War II and was decorated for his bravery, along with the Navy Flying Cross and a Bronze Star. Helfer even received a stirring letter from Harry Truman in which the president expressed his gratitude for helping bring about the total defeat of the enemy and offering the heartfelt thanks of a grateful nation. But Helfer was never one to seek glory. After leaving the military, he went on to become a police officer in upstate New York, eventually retiring to Florida. He passed away in 1993, taking the memories of his impressive military achievements with him. Almost. While Helfer's children were aware of their dad's stint in the Navy, they never knew the true nature of his service. They were, however, about to make an incredible discovery concerning his forgotten legacy. All thanks to a serendipitous dumpster find in Hickory, North Carolina. When a treasure trove of Helfer's personal items, including medals, photos, identification, and military records, turned up in Hickory dumpster, the man who found them immediately recognized their worth. Helfer's effects were likely discarded by whoever sorted through his late second wife, Hickory estate, and deemed them not worth keeping. The finder turned over the cash to Navy vet and American Legion Post 544 Commander Jeff Truitt for safekeeping until Helfer's relatives could be found. Truitt was able to locate Helfer's grown children in Rochester, New York, and his daughter, Linda DeLory, living in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. This could have just been left in the trash, but maybe this family can now have some closure and learned some things about what their father did, Truett told Fox News. He was a hero. At the end of this past February, Delory drove from Wilkesboro to Hickory to meet up with Truett. Delory found herself in awe as she turned the pages of the neatly organized binder Truett had put together containing her father's precious mementos. Along with the never-before-seen snaps of her dad, for the first time Delory also saw a photo of her grandfather. It was like history unfolding before her eyes. Now that the family treasure had been restored, Delory plans to share the bounty with her relatives as soon as she's able. This guy was a hero in World War II, Truett told Fox. He's just one of millions who served, and that's his story that can be told forever now. That's awesome. Truly, a fantastic find. I've thought about what I would do if I ever needed to join the military for whatever reason. And because I have quite a bit of experience as a welder, I'd be a very good engineer. In fact, I say I would make one of the best engineers possible, though I need to learn how to read blueprints. I love welding, especially TIG, and MIG-2 stick not very much. I love a clean weld, a beautiful sterling and sometimes blue acetone colored weld. I love seeing the shades of heat dimpling and the prefectures of the coinage in a good weld. And I love the idea of being able to put two pieces of metal together. I would make water wheels along rivers so people could charge their cars watching a pretty place. Oh, that's amazing. If you could weld. That's amazing. Welding is actually pretty easy. It's mostly about getting things in place to weld them. But if you've got the right equipment, you can weld just about anything. If you've got the time for it as well. So steampunk, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. What a lovely night. Okay, here is our final good news story. In fact, I will save this until after I get back from the restroom. So give me a moment for a potty break. A bit of a bio break, actually. And I will be just a moment. Don't go anywhere. much better. Runs in circles laughing. Yeah, Sue has some of the strongest energy I have ever seen. But you know that's why I adore her. She's always so energetic and positive. Thank you so much, Sue. Her positivity and her energetic spunk always makes me feel younger, actually. Makes me feel more alive, too, just by being near it. And here we go. Cannabis compound inhibits COVID-19 replication in human lung cells, study says. Hugs right back to you, Sue. I'm glad you like hearing it. This is by Andy Corbley from March 17th, just a few days ago. In a study undergoing peer review, the CBD compound from cannabis has been found to stop COVID-19 replication in lung epithelial cells, suggesting that plant medicine holds yet another astounding quality. Furthermore, observational data from patients who were taking CBD before they were tested for coronavirus showed that its use was associated with a significantly lower infection incidence rate than those not taking CBD. Measured together with its metabolite 7-OH-CBD, cannabidiol inhibited the expression of certain genes within the viral cells and reversed changes in gene expression within the lung cells resulting from the presence of COVID-19. In other words, it had both protective and therapeutic roles. It was also found to block viral RNA expression, including the coding for the spike protein, the tool by which viruses enter cells. Another crucial finding was that CBD effectively reversed the triggering of a hyperinflammatory response, the so-called cytokine storm brought on by the presence of the virus, restoring cells not to a pre-viral level of function, but to a state as if the cells had been treated with CBD alone. Cytokine storm is one of the principal causes of death resulting from this infection. A range of other cannabinoids were also tested, but by trials end, only CBD was found to have any effect at all on the infected cells. Peeps are going to start hunting hippies for a totally new reason. It's pretty great, too. It's pretty great. We advocate carefully designed placebo-controlled clinical trials with known concentrations and highly characterized formulations in order to define CBD's role in preventing and treating early SARS infections, the author recommended. A preprint of the study is available in the journal BioRx while it goes under peer review. CBD is available legally in various forms and in various ways in Alaska, Maine, Colorado, California, Washington State, Oregon, Massachusetts, Vermont, Michigan, Nevada, and the District of Columbia. And that is it. We did it, guys. We did it. This week's good news. You know what? Let's read one more, just for the heck of it. How about that? Would you guys like that? One more good news. Oh, you'd like a link to that? Here, let me give you a link to the site. I am more happy than to give you a link. There you go. I hope that is some good reading for you, Sue. World's first 3D printed school poised to be built in Madagascar for half the price of traditional. By Andy Corley. A 15-year-old Chinese immigrant adopted as a baby by the founder of MapQuest is using her adult-sized ambition to use 3D printing to help more kids get an education in Madagascar. Maggie Groot's nonprofit is called Thinking Hut and they are fundraising to break ground on a series of modular honeycomb-shaped schools powered by solar panels, which would be the world's first 3D printed schoolhouses. Hundreds of millions of children don't have schools to attend around the world, and Grout feels one of the best ways to solve the problem is by bringing down the construction costs of schoolhouses. The initial pilot thinking hut in Madagascar is expected to cost $20,000. In a recent interview at the Smithsonian, Grout details how, as well as being half the cost of traditional construction methods, 3D printed buildings become cheaper when the project is scaled. In other words, the first house may cost $20,000, but the more houses that are built, the cheaper they become. Despite the issues of the world, construction on the first hut is expected to begin in the summer on the university campus of École de Management et d'Innovation Technologique in the city of Fianarantsoa, home to about 200,000 people on the south end of the island. The 3D printer itself, at 6.5 feet, is being provided by Thinking Hut's partner, Hyperion Robotics. What a great name. A Finnish 3D printing company that builds a hodgepodge of different elements such as building columns, patio furniture, and even artificial coral reefs. We will use locally sourced materials, remaining conscious of our environmental impact, and implement more additive manufacturing processes as the technology advances, adapting to each community's environment, reads their plan for Hut version 1.0. Initial plans call for solar power, internet access, desk chairs, and tables. The hut will have a secure door and operating windows. Other features include pockets of space on the outside of the walls that can either be used for vertical farming or artificial rock climbing walls for the kids. The exterior will be decorated with traditional Malagasy textile patterns and local materials such as corrugated tin or wood carved by artisans. Their honeycomb shape allows new huts to be added onto existing ones if the need for expansion arises. Thinking Hut's architect, Amir Mortazavi, of the San Francisco studio of the exact same name, wants to maintain local aesthetic appeal, desiring a building that blends into its environment, more important than ever considering the sterile gray color of the 3D printing material. Deforestation is a major issue in Madagascar, which holds a biodiverse ecosystem, with many endemic species known only to the island. Mortazavi told Architectural Digest, "We will be making a reconnaissance trip there shortly to find the most sustainable supplier for our furniture supply in the near future when it's possible and safe to travel there. For completely several schools with travel, electrical, and plumbing, the school supplies Grout's charity, a 501c3, has already raised $125,000. Not bad for a 15-year-old. And that's it, folks. Good news done for this week. What a wonderful show. So cool. I agree with you, Sue. It's very cool. We have the coolest news, the best cat videos, and the best voices, and the best chat at Cast Talks. I am, as always, so glad that I could make it here and I could do this for you guys. It really does make my week more worth it. I hope they're able to make schools a normal sort of thing for kids. I hope so too. These 3D printed schools, they get built so quickly and they're actually very strong, very durable, and they can have so much to offer the children. And not only that, but they're fantastic. They're fantastic, and it's the future of building, I think. The robots will make our lives easier for us. And we'll be grateful to them eventually. I'm already grateful to them, so, I can only go up from here. Yeah, this is a good one. Also, to anybody else whose birthday is on March the 22nd, or the 20th, or the 21st, or the 19th, or the 18th, happy birthday to you. I don't know how many of those people will be listening to this in the future, but if your birthday is on any of those days, or in March in general, here's me wishing you a before happy birthday and an after happy birthday. Sue sings happy birthday to you as well. I'm glad to do it though. I'm very happy for people having birthdays in March. It's a good month to do it. But yes. Oh my gosh, Ella, you always do it. Happy birthday from all of Cass to you. You always do it. Thank you, as always, Ella. You always do it. You gots to. Well, I'm only in support of your behavior. I could only encourage you and enable you to continue on. I hope that is enough to continue it. Of Cass? It's enough for me to keep doing. Did you mean of course? That's a stretch, but I'll take it. Two of my former coworkers have a B-Day coming up themselves. Lovely. It is a stretch, but I'll take it. Well, happy birthday to them from old Cass. If you want to tell them, you can, Playful. You don't work there now at the moment. Okay, so if you can't tell them, then I accept that. But if you can, I'd be glad to give them a happy birthday. You gotta say it in an Italian New York accent. You want me to say it that way? You want me to say the FCAS? It's enough for me to keep it doing it in an Italian accent. For it to make sense. Okay, let's try it. Well, I can do it, don't worry. FCAS, it's enough for me to keep doing it. Was that okay? That was pretty New York. See? Oh, you make a good point. You make a good point. Holy moly. Why did you like my accent? Playful? I hope that you did. Maybe one day I'll do cast talks in a accent for funsies. Caccent. You are stretching it out this time, Ella, but I'm still happy to do it. You're losing your mojo. Hey, I'm still happy to support you though. You weren't expecting it playful. I have a repertoire of accents I can do, but I don't pull them out very often because I'm not that kind of voice actor. But for Ella, I'm more than happy to. More than happy to. It's very different from my normal voice though. Didn't mean for this to Caspin. Oh man. Har har, lol. Hey, you know, I mean, you're trying. I appreciate that. I appreciate the attempt. I'm grateful for it. You try to go out with a bang. I think it's great. So, it's definitely a banger for me. Really is a banger. You know, my New Yorker is much better than my Italian accent. I'm not very Italian. My friend, Crazy is very Italian now. But you know what, folks? That's it for Cast Talks for this week. We've come to the end of our time. And I can only say thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for coming to another one of our sessions. For relaxing in the now and the present with us here, for being in chat, or for watching on YouTube or even on Twitch. Spending some time here, spending some time with us is only a good thing, especially if you're in need of some stress release. But as always, you guys are fantastic. To everybody awake, have a good night. To everybody asleep, sleep tight. And for everybody in between, take care. Stay safe. And see you next time. Bye-bye.